so far, putting him ahead of Bliss and Ace in my mind. Here we go. Picks and bans for game number 2. It's nice to hear the Samsung fans have something to cheer on. Those jackets offend me at the deepest level.
Do they?
They are really.
You don't like
I'm not. You know,
the neon green and blue?
I mean, no, not the player jackets, the coach jackets.
No, the coach jackets.
I mean, you know me. I'm not the type to really criticize fashion. I feel like I'm not really in a place where I can criticize fashion that much.
No, anybody can criticize those, Doa.
With those coats, yeah, I feel like anyone has license to say that coat should never be worn by any living being.
All right, well, Hecarim and Cassiopeia taking out no more top lane Hecarim shenanigans for Cuvée in this game. Cassiopeia banned this game, so pretty different pick ban strategy. Twisted Fate.
Huh, that's interesting.
Do it. Clearly a threatening Twisted Fate player.
I guess so.
You know, they don't want that champion to come out here, so what will they go with as their last ban? Again, very different bans. Previously, SBENU, Cassiopeia, Rek'Sai, and Kalista. So retaining the Cassiopeia.
It's back again.
I know it's back. It's here to torture us every pick ban phase. LeBlanc.
LeBlanc ban, okay.
Not banned or picked at all in the last match. Apparently, they are suddenly concerned with Crown in that way. And there is the Azir ban actually coming in from Samsung. So not wanting SBENU to go ahead and first pick that champion.
Yep. So what's the first pick going to be for SBENU Sonicboom?
This should really test Crown's champion pool because with both Azir and Cassiopeia out, as well as LeBlanc, he's going to have to move to something pretty different in terms of traditional meta picks right now and champions that we know he plays. So Thresh has been a pretty contested ban tonight, but it looks like the Gragas was banned by Samsung in match 1, and Catch played Gragas in 4 games out of his 5 games during the qualifiers this past weekend.
Well, it's funny that we saw, so much of a priority on the jungle bans in game number 1, and now in game number 2, not a single one.
And there we go, Maokai up. Cuvée is going to prefer to take that Gnar over the Maokai.
I don't think Duet's going to do Yasuo. You never know.
Well, he got the epic Gragas synergy, Doa. He has 2 knockups.
That's true.
To ult off of. I'm just joking.
You only need
really
one
bad.
last breath. That's right. Kennen maybe for Soul or Vivid, I suppose, too.
Yeah, possibly even a mid Kennen. It's a pretty ambiguous pick in the current meta. Although playing Kennen without Kalista, not always the best plan.
Well, not a support Kennen, apparently.
Now, Soul did play Kennen during the qualifiers in the top lane.
All right.
So that pick still on the table for them, but a little bit showing their hand, I feel, and they're going to switch it over to the Maokai. So we'll take that matchup into the Gnar, and early picking the Alistar as well.
All right. And I suppose just not wanting to really show too much of what they have in mind.
There's a lot of melee champs here, though, to deal with Samsung once again in terms of that more rapid pushing style that they've developed. Urgot's still a threat, and one thing that's really interesting about what we saw during the qualifiers is that Urgot did make it through some of the picks and bans, but really not being that same ultra high priority pick that we saw at the mid-season invitational. And the Urgot Alistar lane still extremely strong. Fury, longtime Jinx player, back when he was on Prime, known as Zed Engine, he did play a lot of Jinx. Definitely a player who is a Jinx main.
And it was supposed to be Jet Engine, but just the way that English goes to Korean and then back to English, he ended up being Zed Engine.
Oops.
Yep.
It's because there is no Z sound in the Korean language, so it always is pronounced as a J sound instead. So they actually can't differentiate between Z's and J's.
Yeah, you just kind of go for like a hard sort of Z sound. Jet Engine. So, final 2 picks for SBENU Sonicboom. Lucian locked in for Dan, and it looks like Duet's going to do Ziggs in the mid lane. Not very exciting. And there's a Rek'Sai for Eve. Okay. So pretty powerful composition for Samsung.
Well,
But
Samsung's
SBENU
really based around this Jinx. This is a definite protect the Jinx composition that we have rolling right here. It all depends on Fury, but they've been playing more and more around Fury, especially as we saw in that last game. Really, Eve putting so much jungle priority on just being in lane with Fury to push down turrets, and Jinx, one of the best fast-pushing champions in the game. We'll see if they actually decide to take the lane swap here and make an attempt to get that early tower. But good turtling here against that siege coming in from the Ziggs pick. They've got a lot of wave clear between Ziggs, Maokai, and Lucian, so it's not going to be quite so easy this game. And I like what we're seeing from SBENU. Great adaptation. Take the Fizz in the last game, realize that lack of wave clear lost you that mid lane turret very early on. It was abused by Samsung once they identified that pretty early timing to take the mid turret. This time, go the opposite direction. Take the Ziggs, swap your mid player, play the Ziggs player. Of course, Ziggs one of its favorite champions, and try and play for a high damage champion in the late game that has more threats in terms of damage other than just an AD carry. SBENU takes this late. Pretty easy for them to itemize armor and then take it home.
All right, well, here we go. Can Samsung take it home, or will SBENU tie things up? Let's get in the game. All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift. SBENU Sonicboom versus Samsung. SBENU actually having a lot of fans here, migrating over from Prime, I'm sure. And SBENU, do it. Style, start, do it. No, that's a different shoe company. You have to change your ID.
I see what they're doing now. This is a great hybrid marketing campaign for SBENU.
SBENU, the Nike buyout is coming.
SBENU, do it.
That's right.
So close.
Style, start, I'm loving it.
Just take all slogans from all
right.
major brands.
Yep. That's right.
See,
Wow.
I don't even know what Reebok's slogan is. Reebok marketing department, you get on that. I don't even know what your slogan is.
We're not Adidas.
I don't know what Adidas is either. Nike.
What do you want me to say it? Adidas?
No,
like you say
I
it
don't.
In Germany?
No, I
right.
do not want you to do that.
Okay.
No one asked you to do that, Noah.
Hey, I was just asking. If you don't want me to do it, just say so. It's going to be a long season, Monty. It's going to be.
It will be, indeed.
A long one.
We only have 45 best of threes in the first round robin.
Yeah. It'll be good. We can do it.
You don't even have to do it all. I'm the one who has to do it.
Well, I'm going to be doing other things. Don't worry.
All right, well,
we'll do this one together.
Okay, so Fury and Luna will be taking the Gromp right here, trading that aggro. Meanwhile, no attempt to take the Krugs, so there will be a slight XP advantage here for the Samsung duo lane. As Dan and Vivid not going to be taking any of those jungle camps early on, so
here comes the Fury.
That should be his tagline.
That's right. Here comes the Fury. Here comes the me. Yep.
That's Samsung's house motto. Ours is the Fury.
Style, start, surge. That's an older one.
All right, so Dan and Vivid are going to head back as soon as they see what is unfolding in front of them. Instead, go ahead and use that Alistair heal to take one of the small Krugs as they're zoned out anyway. Good use of the time if you're going to be waiting for that minion wave. And they knew that Luna and Fury had gotten that Krug, so make the most of their time in the laning phase. Eve heading up into the top side right now, looking for that early gank onto Maokai. Maokai without that TP, but is a level up at the current time. There we go.
Gonna try to make a play onto Soul here. Soul, who's advanced, gets knocked up immediately. Oh, flashes out of the stun though.
Yeah, nice
He was ready.
force of the flash right there from Eve.
Yep.
Looking to make that play, and now Fury using those rockets to get some pretty nice zoning out.
Doing a bit of damage.
He's trying to prevent the last hitting right now, being as annoying as possible to let these turrets take some of that CS. That's really good positioning on the tower from Fury. A bit risky if the Gragas had been there.
Yeah.
And he was, in fact, right at the Krugs, but not yet able to make a play. So very aggressive laning.
Yeah, well, I think they know they've got this new duo to deal with. They did just beat them in the qualifiers. So, for once, Samsung, the veterans in this situation.
Finally, some of these Samsung players no longer rookies. I mean, they came in last season with 3 rookies on this team, and even Fury only having a single season under his belt.
Yeah.
Wraith, the most seasoned player on this team.
Well, flash pulverize. Oh, nice headbutt. Fury back into catch, but look at that, taking a ride out on the Lantern. Nice escape. Luna's been really on top of things in game 1 and now saving his ADC in game 2.
Yeah, just trading flash for flash right there in the end, and also getting knowledge of the jungler. So really valuable information coming in for Samsung, even though they do take a few knocks onto their AD carry. Eve is on the bottom side of the map. If Eve needs to make a return counter gank right here, we do see Catch lurking in that brush, and he will be found out and then back off. Eve with a slight level advantage on him. Crown just continuing to push up in this mid lane.
Yeah, just throwing down a ward just to make sure that he's not in any trouble from Catch coming up and trying to mess with him. And Cuvée about to go Mega Gnar there.
Yeah, Cuvée with a pretty big CS lead already. Yeah. Soul not able to play quite as aggressively on that minion wave without that flash up, and just getting bullied out as well by the ranged auto attack from the Gnar. Can be a tricky matchup for Maokai. Also forces that extra early Doran's ring just to stay closer in terms of CS this game.
Well, Fury already doing a good job of getting ahead in CS in the bot lane too, just playing this still so aggressively. There's not a lot that Vivid and Dan can do aside from just wait for their minion wave to show up and ask their jungler for ganks.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen really that much pressure onto the Dragon yet. Samsung's not exactly that high up in levels, and Eve still looking to pick up some items here, but even so, Eve going to clear out a ward for backing off. But with the pressure that they've had continuously in the mid and bottom lane, there are opportunities for Eve at least to make it a try, take a stab at getting a solo Dragon.
Well, oh, here we go. Headbutt pulverized. Fury could be in a little bit of trouble. Gets a shield from the Lantern. Luna just steps in to keep the other bot lane back. And I feel like Vivid and Dan have some good attempts, you know? But they're just falling farther and farther behind. 53 CS to 39 now.
I don't think you expect this Jinx lane to be playing as aggressively as they are, but Fury and Luna really look like they're on the same page here in terms of laning, and Luna always stepping in. Seems like chasing Fury down is an illusion for this SBENU bottom lane, because every time it seems like they can punish him, they come up with, Luna comes up with a creative way to get Fury out of that situation and justify his aggressive posturing. It's been really fun to watch this lane this game.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Luna's play last game, and certainly doesn't seem to be letting up at all in game number 2. That Janna had a lot of good whirlwinds, a lot of really impressive ults actually.
Well, it says a lot, too, because Wraith and Fury's laning was never really a problem on Samsung. They were always strong in that regard. And here comes the Dragon.
Okay, well, Vivid and Dan are going to maybe try to contest this, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, they have to back off with Catch coming in.
Yeah, Smart Dragon at the ramp right there, or Smart Ward, rather, at the ramp right there, out of range of the pink ward on the Dragon. So they were seen unable to clear it, and that gave Catch some time to respond and get into that bottom side on time. And that'll force Samsung just to walk off right there. They made the nice attempt. It's a smart play. See if you can take that Dragon. If you can't, just go ahead. Wait for the next time you'll have that window, because you're already winning lanes in bottom and top just in terms of farm. So no need to play overly aggressive right now. You've got great scaling with this Jinx. Although you're going to be playing primarily for that mid game again. SBENU getting a lot of armor will be problematic just because Lulu's damage will fall off and Gnar not having so much damage to speak of. So,
well, it's like you said earlier. It's really all about this Jinx, and if they need Fury to carry, and he's certainly been up to the task so far. See if he can do it. Blue buff checked by Do It, but it's too late.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistiming right there on that blue buff. They assumed that because Crown walked out of lane that he was actually taking the blue, when in fact he was just faking up to the top side. So, yeah. not the cleanest of decisions right there. He should have known more about the jungler's pathing, considering where Rek'Sai started in this game.
Shouldn't have done it. Oh, now it's just the ADCs. I don't think we're going to get to see the duel. Oh well. Time to go back and buy. And, oh, Kube actually doing a lot of damage to Soul there. With that Mega Gnar. Pretty close fight, but I feel like you'd give Mega Gnar the edge in the end in that one if he kept going.
Yeah, definitely would.
Yeah.
Well, finally, first buy coming in from Fury, already with the BF sword and the pickaxe right here.
Wow.
And that'll be Dan's time to go back, but this is the Void Rush coming in. They're trying to abuse the recall timing, and they're going to get it. Lucian not there, and we do see Gragas on the top side, so Samsung has a chance just to go for this dragon right now. It is definitely theirs if they want it. Catch still walking down to that bottom side of the map, and Jinx and Minigun Form's going to clear this dragon very quickly with these item buy.
Yeah, there's no way that Dan's getting there in time to do anything about it. And so Samsung, oh, that was really close. You've managed to get that with the smite, but
yeah,
that gave me a heart attack for a second.
And Do It actually choosing not to ult right there into the pit.
Yeah.
And there's the ult onto the blue buff instead, but it will be early. So the blue buff transfer still will be safely over to Crown in this situation.
Yep, so things looking pretty good again for Samsung. Nice leads in ADC. Oh, meanwhile, Crown though getting a little bit caught. Gank in the mid lane here. Eve able to get in and save him. Crown forced to ult himself, so that's going to be some damage onto the mid lane turret.
That was a lot of disrespect from Crown. So you know that they know you're at blue because Do It just decided to ult over there, and then Crown opts to walk in that very dangerous pathway without a pink ward in it to make sure that they didn't have vision just to come over the wall and smack him right there. So he has to blow his ult a little bit early. It's going to limit the aggressive options in the mid lane. Kube, a lot of damage to Soul right there, using his ultimate, but not forcing him to flash.
I feel like that was just kind of one of those rookie moves, you know, that you see from Crown.
Kube still not going back yet. 11 minutes into this game, he's got a lot of farm and a lot of gold to spend at this stage. We're going back for some pretty big buys, but
yep, I'm just getting used to the idea of Kube winning lane, but he seems improved.
Yep.
But then again, it's against SBENU, and it's only the first couple games of the season, but so far so good. Okay, now a rotation into the mid lane. Looks like they're going to try to just push Do It away from here.
This is not going to work. Like, this isn't the same game. So they tried that same move at about the same timing that we saw in the last match, except instead of a Fizz being there, there is a Ziggs.
Yeah, they're
clearing
just
out that wave. So you don't really have that same timing at all.
They're just going to end up taking damage on their turrets instead.
Okay, finally going back. We'll be able to finish his Hex Drinker and Merc Treads.
Not bad.
And another boot. Oops, what's he doing? He just bought 2 boots. There we go, Spectre Scala and boots. Okay, figured it out in the end. Good job.
All right. Yeah, I don't quite need those Merc Treads just yet, I suppose, Kube.
He was on his way to buying 1 Merc Tread for each foot, but he avoided that. Instead,
well, the trouble with Gnar is that you're always going to outgrow them every, minute or two. You have a couple extra shoes.
But see, the brilliance of Gnar in this skin is that he's just wearing the dinosaur onesie, and then he turns into the dinosaur itself.
His costume becomes him. Or he becomes his costume. Which is it?
He's like Venom from Spider-Man.
That's true. Gnar is Venom. Well, if Gnar is Venom, who's Spider-Man? Oh, Vivid getting flayed back. There's a teleport coming down for SBENU as well, too. I don't know if they're going to get a lot out of that one.
Well, they did force the TP out. It was canceled in the end.
Yes.
They got a flash for it. Luna getting a bit antsy after seeing the TP and not having enough backup necessarily in order to deal with that. Well, Fury going to grab a few more CS here on the bottom side with his rockets. And
I mean, Samsung's got a big teleport edge now, right? And so, see what they can get with it. It's going to be a little while until Dragon, though, yeah. All right. There is a ward there, so Eve is seen coming in, I believe. There was a ward there. I think they cleared it out.
Eve still looking for something. Heads up into the tribe rush. Not sure if you can really safely dive this, but yeah, there's the culling just to clear out the wave.
Whoa, Kuve very, very low, in a lot of trouble here, turning on to Soul. Here comes Catch, just help finish the job. He's about to be Meganar, though. Kuve trying to escape, almost dodges that body slam. There's a stun onto Soul as he comes in with the twisted advance, and Kuve, is he going to get the kill? Zigzag comes in, first blood for Kuve. Looks like Catch will get the second blood, though.
So close
Wow.
to the wild growth on the flash. Couldn't quite
kidding.
make it.
He tried. It was a nice attempt. Kuve, though, getting first blood.
Eve now down here. They may want to push them off the turret, so they are going to fast push a turret off of this. No real chance for the defense. Culling down, not able to clear out the wave. And Vivid and Dan.
And that's
Force out. Crown's still going, actually. And there's the Void Rush into the mid lane.
Are you kidding me? Look at this. This is the kind of Lulu I like to see. Crown manages to take down Catch. Wow.
So Catch didn't have his ult right there and stuck around on the turret. I'm not really sure how that play was set up because you wouldn't have thought that was possible, especially with Crown's flash down, so he couldn't just flash wild growth himself.
You don't expect a Lulu, to chase a Gragas down to tier 2 and finish him off in top lane.
Man, I don't know what Soul was doing right there. That was a big miscommunication between Soul and Catch because going back in onto Kuve right as he turned into Meganar and standing next to a wall while he Gnar-ults you, what a terrible plan.
It's not a good plan. It's a bad plan.
It was a bad plan.
It's a plan where you die. Well, Dragon's up in 25 seconds, and I feel like after that little series of events, Samsung is in a good position to do something about that. Luna just showing Vivid he knows where he's at.
Yeah, TP advantage still to Samsung as well.
Yep.
Now that this bottom turret's going to get shoved all the way in, it's going to be very difficult for SBENU to actually make a move here.
Good warding by Samsung as well, too.
That's been the story of this series. Samsung's warding has definitely been there.
Yep. And Dragon is up, so Samsung's going to turn on that one. Crown taking a tiny bit of damage, but we'll see if they can take the Dragon. They're not pulling it out of the pit, though. Catch could come in and try to burst that. They're just going to leave off on it. And, oh boy, Catch really is going to try to do it. Can he do it? Now they're coming in Samsung. There's the box for a bit of zoning. Death Sentence misses. Dragon's still very, very low.
Yeah, just go ahead and let it release if you're Samsung. You want to use this TP. Narbar nearly full right now. Look at the crab, though. Does get taken by SBENU as they re-aggro the Dragon.
Yep. Eve coming from the side. Do it. Finally coming down from mid lane. Luna going for another Death Sentence. There's a teleport. Luna may have overextended. Flurry comes, or Fury comes down rather. Luna backing off. Vivid in the middle of everything, and here's Kuve into the back lines as Meganar, big ult against the wall, and the rest of Samsung coming in to try to finish this up. Fury's getting excited. That's going to be a single kill for him, and they're going to turn onto this Dragon. Look at the Samsung team. Not over pursuing, they turn back onto the objective. That's new.
Yeah. And SBENU right there did a good job of waiting until Soul's TP came up.
Yeah.
So they were trying to play that patiently, get the poke down with Ziggs. They even got control over that speed shrine in the river, but their initial setup just wasn't there. The wards were already down. Samsung had the position in the river, and they weren't caught in a choke by Ziggs, so they could just spread out, and they weren't taking a lot of damage from that poke, not zoned out. And so Fury comes back after picking up that kill, already with an Infinity Edge and a Zeal. Look how far ahead of Dan he is.
Yeah.
In terms of that CS, as well as the kill and the assist. And
as well as items, too. I mean, he's got a core item and a Zeal done.
And Dan close to that Infinity Edge at this point, but not quite there yet.
Yep.
Fury will take a quick detour over for the red buff.
So Athene's first for both of our mid laners as well, too.
Yep, what you would expect in this matchup. I mean, Ziggs really does benefit from having that big-time mana boost. Very high mana cost champion as it is, and you especially need that. If you want to do the sustained damage in teamfights, you have to get that reset on the mana with the kills and assists that you get off of Athene's.
So the question is now for Samsung, can they start pushing down some of these turrets as fast as they did last game? And obviously it's going to take a little bit more time. Ooh, here we go, SBENU coming in. They've locked down Eve for the moment. Looks like they might be able to get a kill. Oh, he gets out on the Lantern though. Meanwhile, uh-oh, here comes Jinx. A lot of damage on the Soul so far. Catch throwing the barrel over the wall, doesn't hit anybody though. That's another kill for Samsung. Over pursuing a bit. And it costs him a top laner.
It does, but how much more is Samsung going to get for this? There's no Ziggs ult now to clear out this top side. They still have 3 people.
We've got Gragas too. He's able to do plenty of damage to minions. Looks like that'll be enough for now.
It's a lot of poke coming in from Fury though. Those rockets really starting to hurt.
Yep. With
the Infinity Edge and forcing down in the top side. And just this unrelenting pressure. Crown continuing just to shove in that mid lane. And we do see Kube force another wave into the tower after that Ziggs ult goes down, and here's another couple of autos for Jinx in that minigun form, forcing Do It off as well right there, just zoning him. There's the Lantern, ripping Fury out of harm's way.
Can that pink ward not see that stealth ward?
May not be able to.
He just walked right past it. I would imagine he'd see it. He's walking right on top of it. Meanwhile, oh, Soul going for the 1v1 against Kube here. Do It comes in to try to help him pick up that red buff. Meanwhile, more action up in the top lane as that turret's getting very low. Nice grab off the Flame Chompers there onto Catch. A lot of damage onto him.
Yeah, just so much zone control on the tower right now.
Yeah.
Setting up those Chompers and then unable to stop Fury as long as the Lantern is there to whisk him to safety.
Yeah, they can't see that ward in the brush. Luna's just like stood on it for a long time. Wow.
Cute little attempt right there. But not going to finish off the kill onto Ziggs. Ziggs bounces away to safety. Did have to use his Ghost in that situation.
All right, so Samsung deep in the enemy jungle now. Able to get a lot of vision in. Catch in the tri-brush. Luna
blind hook.
Throws a blind hook in there. Yeah, nearly hits Catch. Got to give it a try.
I saw him go in with the ward, so
yeah.
It was actually proper positioning for Catch right there to be standing in the least likely place for him to blind hook. Right into the top side.
I feel like tops of tri-brush is where everyone's going to start throwing their blind hooks now. That's where everybody hides, is the top of tri-brush.
Fury's here again.
Yep.
Taking your turrets.
Good zoning again with the Flame Chompers too, just making sure that nobody can come in and contest it. So now the Bulldozer has begun to roll forward, and is there anything that SBENU can do to stop it?
Well, they're losing all their lanes,
so
and they're down 2 dragons, and they're down 5K gold already in this one.
You're not really getting my hopes up here.
I am not trying to. Phantom Dancer now done for Fury as well. Well, the feed Fury composition is going swimmingly so far.
Aegis of the Legion for Luna as well, just to try to stave off some of that magic damage.
Now, even with this lead, this is the lead that Samsung needs, because you can see the Frozen Heart developing on Catch, Randuin's Omen, and the Ninja Tabi already finished on Soul as well. So they definitely know what they need to do to itemize in this particular situation. Do It actually going for a Void Staff as a second item. That's a bit desperate, I have to say.
Well, I don't know if it's going to save this turret. Doesn't even take out all the minions there.
God, it's so annoying to deal with Jinx in these siege situations.
Yeah.
Because with that shield and the minigun, she could do so much damage before that shield actually breaks, even under direct turret fire, getting 2 or 3 autos off with that attack speed boost. So well, she could be there without a minion wave, still dealing a ton of damage, particularly now that Crown has just finished his death cap as well. So this is a really good time for him to use that big shield onto Fury to get that last remaining outer turret.
Only a couple seconds till Dragon comes up again, so Samsung's going to be looking for maybe a pick here before they move near the pit. They've got vision.
And SBENU has no Ziggs ult either, so there's not really a good way.
The damage from Jinx. Okay, they're going to go for it. Catch tried to use his ult. to maybe knock somebody back. Wild Growth used on Fury just for safety's sake.
Yeah, Fury also flashed right there, so that's one less tool he's going to have available to him.
Yep. Did you see how much damage he was doing to do it, though?
Yep.
That's pretty insane.
There we go. They've got the position they want right now, and they can continue just swapping back and forth.
Well, the grab catch right under the Flame Chompers. He's in a lot of trouble now. Vivid over the wall, though. Teleport coming in for Samsung to support. And here we go. Soul going deep. They're on to Crown. Dragon activated, too. Hitting some of the members of Samsung. Meanwhile, Fury just in the middle of everything, just unafraid. He's getting excited now again. And that's enough for Samsung. They're just going to turn and take this dragon, maybe grab this mid lane turret first.
You want to take the mid turret first, push
Yeah.
the wave, and then safely take that dragon. That way you can maximize your objectives. There's the ult coming in again. Nearly takes out Crown, but not quite.
Yep.
Be a little bit overly ambitious, I feel, at this stage to go for the Baron. Just go ahead, take the third dragon, keep those stacks rolling, and
Yeah, just play it safe. You've already got a big lead. I mean, the game is yours to win or lose at this point if you're Samsung. Easy third dragon. Samsung looking just miles ahead of SBENU Sonicboom in this first match anyway.
well, and that one kill onto Kuve as well is the only thing that's preventing SBENU from actually getting perfect games so far.
Yeah.
No
Kuve.
towers taken, no dragons taken here by SBENU, so it's been a pretty thoroughly dominant performance across the map for Samsung.
Yep. I mean, and SBENU came into this specifically building a composition to try to stop what happened last game from happening. And, you know, they've got a comp where it's inevitable that they'll slow it down a bit at least, but they're not really stopping it in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Samsung's really been on top of the turret game once again. They seem to have found a niche that they can really leverage into some of these wins against at least weaker opponents pretty easily. There we go, Samsung coming back again. The question is, what do they do now that they have that outer turret down? Certainly they're in a place to threaten that Baron, particularly as Jinx gets more and more items. Fury on the cusp of that last whisper now, and that's going to make a world of difference, especially as SBENU has yet to complete one of those big armor items at this stage. He should hit that 3-item power spike right as Randuin's or this Frozen Heart are completed, and that's going to do a lot to nullify those items.
It's pretty good timing.
Yeah, very good timing.
Well, Samsung still setting up for that Baron. They've gotten most of the wards out of the way for now. And they're actually doing it from over the wall. Look at that. Wow, that is so sneaky. Fury just doing so much damage that SBENU, they suspect. Oh, and now they see it.
Yeah, now they have to back off. You see they back off immediately after that, Eve with the tunnel.
It was a cute idea.
Underneath the wall, but you have to be suspicious.
Yep.
And nice attempt from Samsung. Might as well take a stab and then just immediately back off if you need to.
I think it'd be more appropriate to say take a shot.
Take a shot.
At it this time. Well, keeping the lanes pushed up. At this point, Samsung can be pretty leisurely about all this. Do you think they can just kind of wait for the next dragon or another opportunity around Baron?
Sure, I mean, you could stack dragons at this point if you want. Again, you have to be worried about this going into the late game because Thornmails are really going to throw off your groove here.
I suppose. So if you're Samsung, maybe you do feel a little bit of pressure at least.
As long as you can stop him from doing the Baron and stacking to 5. I mean, a dragon right now would be absolutely huge for SBENU because they might be able to turtle long enough to take this to a win. But that 8K gold gap is getting pretty big, even for a more single damage threat team to deal with.
Very true.
And unfortunately for them as well, Crown is definitely ahead of Do It in terms of itemization because he didn't take the triage build of early Void Staff, instead went for the Death Cap and has nearly completed the Void Staff himself right now. So Slulu going to be doing quite a lot.
All right, so warding mission from SBENU. Gonna take out a few here. Another turret falls in bot lane. And oh, they caught catch.
Well, you got the Scuttle Crab, but definitely was not worth it. As
Nope. Oh, Kube has to back off a little bit, taking pretty much a full culling from Dan. The chase continues, but he's leading them away while his team does Baron. So if they take out Kube, totally worth it. Here comes the Ziggs ultimate. Not doing a whole lot, except helping Samsung out. And there we go, Baron for Samsung Galaxy.
And Kube gets away in the end without having to use Flash as well.
It's impressive.
And here we go once again, Samsung with his hard push. Now they did so much with the Baron buff in that last game.
And this is a big chance too to push back SBENU and get ready for that fourth dragon as well, I suppose.
Fury's going in.
Uh-oh, do it. In a lot of trouble. Flashes over the flame choppers. Death sentence does miss. They're gonna knock Luna way back in there, so that's a kill for SBENU. A little bit overeager for Samsung there.
Well, Luna did try and flash hook that.
He did.
And then got bounced immediately into the turret. So Samsung trying to be a little bit stylish right there. But
I like the effort. I like the effort. I like the style, you know.
They still got a turret thanks to split pushing Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
So all was not lost. A big commitment there just for a kill. In the end, Samsung does come out ahead. But losing that Baron on the support, not the most impactful either, obviously. Yeah, losing it on your top or your, in this case, the jungler, because Rek'Sai is a jungler that can split push as though she had teleport with the Void Rush is much more important. And Dragon up in 40 seconds. Here comes the setup. Fury just pushing ahead while he can.
Kube
and that
getting
blue
aggro.
buff actually taken by Kube.
He's getting aggro with his build too.
Oh boy.
I believe that's the new Black Cleaver icon.
It is the new Black Cleaver.
Wow. It's very dark.
Honestly, I mean, it's by no means a terrible build. We see, if we talk about what it does. So if we think about how a lot of these Gnar players used to build Frozen Mallet just for split pushing purposes and for abusing a melee opponent, I mean, instead of slowing your opponent, you get that phage speed boost instead, and you can start to cut through the armor in terms of auto grasp. But here he's just actually going straight for the tower.
He's kind of ignoring Soul completely.
Look at this.
Wow, look at the damage.
Yeah, you can do a lot of damage. This new Black Cleaver is very strong.
Yeah, Soul losing quite a bit of health there.
So I think it is understandable why you would take it.
Well, there's Dragon number 4 for Samsung. They continue to just sort of walk all over SBENU, which is funny because SBENU's a shoe company. So.
Wow, that is just incredibly irritating to deal with this Gnar with the phage speed boost. And there's a banner of command.
Wow, they have to use a Grog Assault just to keep this terrifying mini Gnar away.
Well, they can't deal with the banner either.
Yeah.
So banner of command on the support right here, and there's really nothing they can do to clear out this minion, actually.
He's a one-man army.
You're terrible.
I got 10 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. All right, turret goes down in top lane, and Fury's going to take the one in mid easily enough. Not even burning through that Lulu shield. Kube's
They
Mega Gnar
still
now.
haven't killed the minion.
Nope. Kube and this minion, man.
Honestly, Banner's a fantastic buy in this situation.
Oh wow, the exhaust.
Wow.
Dan, he gets away. Kube makes it out.
Nicely played by Kube. So Banner in this particular scenario, when you have this early Baron, is actually a really good buy. Because if you think about how they're going to clear it out, the only way they can deal with this minion is with Lucian.
Yeah, only physical damage will do it.
So they actually can't turtle with Ziggs as long as the Baron is up and that Banner minion is there, and it actually wins them a turret for their teleport. Meanwhile, Kube just teleports right back to the inhibitor.
Yeah, they're going to take out 2 inhibitors at the same time here, possibly. They may just win the game right here, too. Vivid charging in with Home Guard, but look at this. Already, Dan is very low health. There goes one inhibitor. The one in top is going to fall very soon as well, too. Nice rocket. Oh, Fury. Wild Growth keeping him alive. He's running away. Excited enough. Oh, there's the kill though for Do It. Oh, wow. A lot of damage at the ult, too.
Right onto the minefield.
Yep.
But they got 2 inhibitors for it, so, I mean, Kube was absolutely scot-free and just autoing the inhibitor to death by himself.
Hashtag worth.
In the top side, he now has a pickaxe as well. Maybe he will be going for that Frozen Mallet eventually.
Keep building damage. Grab an IE while you're at it.
IE Gnar. That would
Why
please
not?
me. Yeah, the new Black Cleaver. Definitely understandable why you would buy that in this situation. More health, getting that cooldown reduction is so nice on a champion like Gnar as well.
Soul just cannot do anything to Cuvée right now.
In spite of having a frozen heart too, so that's really saying something. All right, well, 2 more minutes until the next Baron. We'll see. Samsung definitely does not need to wait for the next Baron with their massive gold lead to finish this one.
You know, actually, oh, there's Mauve Malmortius now for Cuvée.
Ah, it was a Maw, okay.
I was going to say, do you build maybe a Last Whisper with this too, if you're just going all out on the damage?
Nah, you have, I think you have enough armor penetration with the Black Cleaver, just with the auto attacks
I
right
suppose
there
it's true.
by itself.
Well, now Cuvée is ready to truly slay people. Teleport coming in from behind. Soul's going to try to make a flank here. Samsung backing away. Luna getting a little bit caught. He hooks Dan. There we go. Here comes the engage. Can SBENU do anything about this? Cuvée a little bit on his own, but here comes Fury from behind. He's got to be careful. Fury getting close. There's the kills coming in now. Soul trying to lock up this mid laner, but he just can't do enough damage. His shields are too strong. Meanwhile, Cuvée just playing his own game. Whoa! There's the rocket.
He was actually playing Dan's game right there.
I think so. Dance Revolution. Goodbye. Oh, he lives. Oh, Fury, he wants it. Yeah, there it is. He's excited now. Oh, no! Oh, the Nexus kills Fury, but the rest of the team kills the Nexus. GG, and a 2-0 for Samsung in their first match of the season. Looking good against SBENU Sonicboom.
Well, that was much more convincing than their qualifier matches as well. Now, they did 2-0, but Samsung struggled a bit more in the early game. This time coming out, firing, and they were much more solid than I anticipated they would be, certainly showing a lot of development over this offseason.
Well, some surprises tonight, both positive and negative.
I don't know, Najin looked about the same.
It's true. Well, that was the surprise, is that they hadn't changed at all. I think that was the surprising part to me. But another win for Samsung, and another really spectacular game by Fury as well.